Lotto chat. That's great. Okay, so I've got 701. Let's get started. And like I said, people will join in as they do. Again, my name is Bob Cohen, and I want to welcome you to tonight's workshop. I'm here with Lindsay Sims McKee. Lindsay has done many presentations for us, and I think you'll find what she's presenting tonight to be just outstanding as normal for us. So thank you, Lindsay, for being with us. So I'd like to just briefly tell you a little bit about SCORE, take you through some things about SCORE, and we'll get started right here. So we've got the largest network of volunteer small business mentors in the nation. There are about 10,000 volunteers nationwide in about 240 chapters throughout the country. So most major cities and many suburbs and many secondary and third tier cities as well will have chapters available for you. So no matter what stage you are within your business, we've got mentors that can help you. So it's very easy to request a mentor, and I'll show you that in just a moment. So our mission is to foster small business communities. That's simple as that. As you all know, that the economy of the United States is about 50% small business, give or take. And this is a way of passing wealth down to your family, growing wealth for yourself, putting people to work, starting businesses, small businesses, and that's where we specialize. So um, we've got it. We've got something for everybody. We are empowering entrepreneurs to succeed in every facet of life that you can imagine. So I wanted to show you basically about SCORE and how to find a mentor. The easiest thing to do is just go right to our website directly, and you'll see there's a lot of good information on there. There are templates and resources. So business templates, financial templates, marketing templates, um, all kinds of workshops and events. And I'm sure that most of the people that are on this call have, in one way or another, been to some of our workshops. Finding a mentor is quite easy. It's just as easy as hitting find a mentor. And you can actually, there's a couple different ways that you can do it. Let me just go back one. I think I missed it. Search for a mentor. And you actually can go to the chapter of your choice and browse through profiles. We'll match you up. Um, Let me go back one. See, we can match up by zip code. So I'm just putting in my own zip code. And you put in your information. You can log in and then just give us the information that you are looking for, and we will match you up. Typically, what happens is we have client intake coordinators that will take your request, match it up by zip, send it out to mentors that most closely resemble the type of work that you're looking for. We will contact you generally within 48 hours and set up an appointment and move on from there. So that's that. So I think that's everything. Probably the most important part of this is that all of our services are free. So whether you're coming to a workshop, you're working with a mentor one-on-one, or sometimes two and three on one, whether we do a small business advisory board for you, all of the work that SCORE does is free because, one, in part, we are funded by the SBA. We also raise our own funds chapter by chapter to keep going. And we are out there available for the life of your business. So whether you're a startup, whether you are moving your business ahead and growing, scaling, or whether you're at a point now where you're ready to sell your business, we can help you. So as you go through today's presentation with Lindsay, there are many areas where you can reach out to a SCORE mentor and we will help you. So I'm going to turn this back over to Lindsay. Let me stop sharing my screen. And Ms. Sims McKee. introduce yourself and take it away.
Hello, 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 everyone. Thanks, Bob. Bob and I have known each other for approximately 400 years, and I love to get to do workshops with him because he's one of the first people that I met when I came to Cleveland and started my business. And so it's really nice to like have these full circle moments where Bob helped me start my business, and now I'm helping you guys with all the things that you're doing through SCORE. And so, yeah, it's just a lovely, lovely. If you have not connected with SCORE as an organization, you absolutely should. It is a very, very fantastic opportunity for everyone, period, ever, period. Okay, so I have already got you guys going in the chat. I see you all asking each other questions and doing all this great stuff in there. Keep that energy going throughout the entire workshop. I am going to ask you questions as we go, and I expect for you to like basically I expect for you to talk to me as if I'm in the room with you because I'm gonna talk to you as if you're in the room with me. And so if you go ahead and we all do that together, it'll be great. We'll have a good time. It's a lot harder. People always say like they feel like I'm doing my workshops in person when I'm online, and that's because of the chat. If you guys participate with me, then I will participate with you. I see a lot of you are at the very beginnings of starting a business from the chat, and that is also awesome. Like I love seeing all of the people who are just getting started. I have an idea. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. And then people are already in the chat making suggestions and all that good stuff. So I'm very, very excited about all that. And I even see a few names that I recognize. And so it's good to see you guys, all you new, the people I know and the people I've never met before. There's like almost 100 people in here right now. So keep it coming. If you haven't put your name, where you're at, and what your business is or what your business idea is in the chat, go ahead and do that. Now, I ask you to do all that stuff up front because we're going to be talking about a lot of things, most of it not about me. And so I want you guys to have the whole thing be about you the entire time. So if you put your stuff in the chat, it's going to make it a lot easier on me. Now, hi, I'm Lindsay. I'm your Grow with Google Digital Coach. As I've already said, I am a recipient of SCORE help when I first got my business started. I don't even know if Bob and I met through SCORE. We might have met through one of the other organizations, but I know I had Anita, who is another person that I work with here at SCORE. And she was my mentor when I first got started. And so it's very, very exciting to like come back and do workshops with her and workshops with Bob. They're both fantastic. As you can see, I no longer have all the beautiful hair that you see in that photo. I just literally like 2 weeks ago, like we cut it all off. Just cut it all off. So it's summer hair, even though we're going into the fall. But I am your Grow with Google Digital Coach, no matter where you are. It says Ohio, but I know a bunch of y'all are in like Indiana and Illinois. I think I saw somebody said they were in Arizona. Arizona, y'all. I actually used to live in Arizona, so I know you're like in the middle of the ninth ring of hell right now. I totally remember what it was like to have August in Arizona. I hope you're inside, very, very much so inside. Okay, so we're going to talk about ads today. And the reason why I said I was very excited about all of you people who are at the very, very beginning of your journey is because advertising, I like I like to say this about advertising. It's fantastic if you already know what's working, but it's also really good if you have no idea what could work. So whether you know what's working or you don't know what's going to work, advertising can work for you because advertising can be a really good way to kind of test things out, see how they're going to work, how it's going to work, all that jazz. Okay. So 49% of shoppers surveyed said that they use Google to discover new things, like they are looking for something brand new. And then 59% of shoppers said that they use Google to make a purchase plan even if the purchase is going to be in the physical world. So even if they're not purchasing the thing in the internet, they're still using Google to find answers about their search. And so that's what you need to understand. And this is part of the reason why ads are so useful if you are at the beginning. Now, I am not a fan of wasting money. So we're going to talk about how to not have your ads be a waste of money because I am not interested in that at all. I want you all to keep your money. I wasted a ton of money when I started my business. I had a lot of mistakes. So I don't want y'all making any of my mistakes. I want you to keep your money, and all 100 of y'all, I want you to keep your money and not waste a single dime on it, okay? And so because of that, we're going to talk about all of the ways that you can kind of make sure that you're really maximizing with your advertising, okay? Now, what are the benefits of ads? One of the major benefits of advertising is that you can reach very, very specific audiences, very specific audiences. So if you are looking for, I see here we have Marianne, who is the owner of a bakery in Honeybrook, Pennsylvania. It's preservative-free baked goods, signature zucchini bread. So what she could do, and this is the reason why I said, put your stuff in there, tell me about yourself. If she wanted to reach people who were sweet treat enthusiasts who live within 30 miles of Honeybrook, Pennsylvania, that's what specific audience. She could specifically reach stay-at-home moms who live within 30 miles of Honeybrook, like put the location pin in the map of her store or her shop. And if she delivers, she could do a delivery radius. There's all sorts of cool things you can do. You can get very, very specific. And then you can control when and where your ads appear. So I'm going to assume, I'm not pretending. Marianne, I hope this is true. I'm going to assume that Marianne does not work 24/7, 365, that there are some hours on this bakery. And so if there is a bakery hour, she could, instead of running ads 24/7, she could actually determine that she only wants to run her ads from like 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. What if she is maybe it's a 7 to 2 business, and so she could run her ads during 7 to 2. Or she could do like what Jimmy John's does. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jimmy John's, a sub sandwich place. They are one of the really good advertisers out there. I'm not saying anything about the value of the company whatsoever. I have no care about that. I'm saying they're advertising. What they do is if you are within a 5-mile radius of a Jimmy John's, anytime in the vicinity of lunch between 11 and 1 p.m., you're going to get an ad for Jimmy John's lunch. Like you're going to get an ad because Jimmy John's does a massive crush of advertising at lunchtime to anyone who is within a radius of their shops via all the advertising platforms, not just Google. And so she could do the same thing, Marianne, and she could determine how much she wants to spend. So she doesn't have to compete with Jimmy John's money. She can spend $10. She can spend $2 a day if she wanted to, running those ads from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. So it's really up to you. And then she could decide, okay, I want to run the ads, but I want to make sure that I'm getting good results. And so I'm going to make sure that I look at my results and see what's happening. And if no one is clicking on the ads before 10 a.m., then she can stop running them before 10. She can just make the ads run from 10 to 2, since that's the time frame that people are shopping. Or she could say that maybe she wants people in the shop first thing in the morning, and instead of running the ads while the shop is open, she could run the ads while the shop is closed. And so instead of running them during the daytime when they're open, she could run her ads at night as a little bit of a, hey, you don't know what you're having for breakfast in the morning, come by my sweet shop and pick up some zucchini bread and eat it in your car on the way to work. Like there's all sorts of ways that you can do advertising that is going to make it really, really useful for your business. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about here is what the ads are, how they work, and then how we can leverage them for your business instead of it being a generic, everybody has to run the same kind of ads, because that is not true. It does not need to be generic, and everyone should not be running the same type of ads. So let's talk about how Google Ads work. So Google Ads are very, very, very simple, but it's very complicated if you are unfamiliar with the system, right? If you're unfamiliar with it, it can be a little bit of a challenge. So the basic way it works is this: someone types something into Google. And in that time, while they're typing that thing into Google, Google is creating a search results page for that person. And while they're creating that search results page, they are also then looking at anyone who is interested in advertising to that person and saying, is there an ad that is appropriate to show to this person for this search? So it's the combination of who the person is, where the person is, and what the person is searching for. It's not just if your keyword matches, then you get shown. That's not how it works. It's much more complicated than that. And then based on that like whole auction that's happening in the background, there's winners and they appear at the top of the search results page. Now, I see right now, okay, someone just asked if the slides are going to be available. They are actually, we're live on YouTube right now. So if you want to rewatch this entire thing, you just head over to the Score Cleveland YouTube channel and rewatch the entire presentation. So it's great. You don't need just the slides. You can go through and watch the whole thing again at your own speed. Okay. So once you go through that entire process, there's a search results page. Now, before oh, Christina, you're ahead of the game, Christina. Yes, advertisers pay Google. I'm going to get to that in a second, Shelley. Now, before we jump into this like what everything, the mechanics in the background, I want everyone here to tell me what is the search term that you want to be found for. So Christina already put in estate sales because she hosts estate sales. And so what else could you, what terms could you be found for? So everybody put in what your one or two keyword phrases that you would want to get found for. We got a PR agency in here, y'all. I am in desperate need. Tamika, you want to find me? I can find you. Like, one of us needs to find each other. I am horrible at PR. Mommy bag. Ooh, I got questions. Comics and books. Okay. Counseling for depression. Phone cases, email marketing. Oh, I got knowledge management, Josh. I got questions. Hot oil flush. Y'all got some interesting things here. Parenting classes, virtual admin assistant, party venue, custom clothing, buying electronics, domestic violence, staff augmentation. Autumn, goodness gracious. Y'all got some interesting stuff. Longevity, rejuvenation. Okay, Aaron, anti-aging. That's what people are Googling. Okay. Dog treats and shampoo. Toledo phone buyers. Okay, I like that. Toledo phone buyer. I like that a lot. Website development, spa day. Oh yeah, spa day is definitely something people are Googling. You guys are doing a really good job at this. Lash services, beauty, bookkeeping, teaching me how money works. The wheelchair assistant. So this is the mobility thing. Designer clothing. Oh, that's a good one. I'm wondering if people are actually Googling that one, designer clothing. Okay, so you guys all put in some really good terms. You can put some really good terms. Now I'm gonna go off script. If you've ever been in a workshop with me, you know how this works. I go off script constantly because I like showing y'all stuff. I don't want to just teach you stuff. I want to show you what to do so that you can be better at this whole game, right? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to head over to my good friend, Google Trends. So we're going to go to trends.google.com. Okay, so on Google Trends, I am going to just take one of the random terms that I see here, and I am going to type it in. I keep seeing the term, massage and medical massage and beauty services and spa services. Now, Phil Donahue, that just came up because Phil Donahue actually passed away today, in case you guys hadn't seen that. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go and you're going to enter in a key phrase or a key word. So let's say that the key word is massage therapy. Therapy. I love typing real time. Okay, so it's massage therapy. And so I'm going to type in the term massage therapy and I clicked on the search term. Now, what we're looking for isn't to really know more about this term. What we want to find is a bunch of other terms that could be used or terms, whether or not the term massage therapy is regional. Because there's a bunch of y'all from a bunch of different states here. And what we know, as I have lived in 5 different states and I've lived in a bunch of different states, and every single one of them calls the fizzy drink that is named Pepsi, or Sprite or whatever. They all are called different things in different places. I'm from Missouri where we call it soda. And I live here in Ohio where y'all call it pop. And I've also frequented Atlanta where they call everything cola and Coke, sorry, specifically Coke. And I lived in Arizona where I don't even know if they had a preference. You just call it whatever name you wanted and people just handed you the beverage of your choice. And so all of these different things have different regions, right? And so what you want to do is if you have a term like, again, massage therapy, you want to get a good look at the map to see if there are terms that might be better for that, or if there are other terms that might be better for your region, or like this one, somehow, some way, we have an entire blackout of one state, right? And so and there are other terms for which this is a very popular term. Somehow, North and South Dakota, this is like the most used term by subregion is North and South Dakota. but it's not surprisingly in your like super warm, sunny. I think a lot of spa, I think massage is life in California, but it is not. That is not maybe what the term is that people are using. And so when you look at these things, it's not to say that I'm not going to use the term massage therapy when I'm doing my keywords, but what I am going to do is look for other terms that might be better. Because if we're rating only at 50% or whatever in California, and I'm in California, then that might mean that very few people are searching that term in my state. And that's something I need to care about. I need to look and see if there are other terms, if there are other things. And so, how do we look and see what other terms are available? I'm actually going to give you another really silly cheat code. One of my favorite things to do, which is to just Google the term. So, I'm going to type in massage therapy. And I hope y'all are following along with me. Massage therapy into Google. Now, the best way to do this is to go incognito, because what it's going to immediately do, if you do something like massage therapy, it's going to give you a bunch of places local to you that you can get massage therapy. So I'm not incognito right now. I am actually logged in. And if you don't know what incognito is, it means you go to a browser that doesn't know it's you. It knows it's you, but it pretends it doesn't know it's you. You from a pop place, Tamika? Okay. And if your term doesn't exist, Arlene, I got you. Okay. So now what we look for is this thing here. People also asked, and we are going to look for down at the bottom all of these other terms. Now, this is what I knew would happen, and I'm glad so many people typed in massage therapy, because the term massage therapy is not, it's called Google Trends. And I just typed in trends.google.com. That's it. So for Shelly, the reason why I like the term massage therapy for this example is because the term massage therapy is sort of like the term virtual assistant or any of the other terms about your profession, like fractional CFO. There's a bunch of you who typed in terms like that. And the problem with those terms is that they are most often used by people either in your profession who are seeking jobs, or people who are in your profession trying to get hired and don't understand that no one is searching that term. So what you don't want to do if you're a massage therapist is you don't want to use the term massage therapy as your keyword, because the term massage therapy is not what I, a person who wants a massage, is going to type in to Google. That's the answer. You want to find what the person who is going to do the search is going to type. And we have to remember my Lindsay's number one rule in life, which is that people are stupid. And I don't mean that like other people are stupid. I mean, everybody, including me and you, everybody, we are all dumb as rocks when it comes to the thing that we don't know anything about. So like, I don't know the difference between shiatsu and Swedish and hot stone. And I don't know the difference between none of those, but I will often, like, I literally just got back from vacation. My husband and I got a couples massage, and I regularly just type into the internet couples massage. I don't type anything else in, and it tells me Swedish massage. And I'm like, okay, sure. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. Does it come with a back scrub? I don't know. Whatever. Like, whatever the thing is, I will look at the specifics of the treatment after I've made other selections. But mostly, I just want to make sure that it's a couples massage, right? I don't care if it's on a quartz bed. I mean, that's nice. I don't know what that means though. And so what you want to do whenever you're looking at your keyword term is remember that your audience doesn't know your business. They only know their pain. They know their problem. I need a massage with my husband. Like, I need a couples massage. That's all they know. They don't want massage therapy because that's what people who are in the profession call the thing. They only want the thing that they know what it's called. So back to some of your other questions, like, what should I actually say instead? You want to go for what people's pain or their problem or their quest, what it is that they're trying to get to. So some of you put in that you are a mental health therapist and things like that. I was just going to ask that question, Arlene. What is your business? So what is the thing that you do? And then what is it that you do for people? What is the thing that, what are the products or services that you offer? What is that? And then that is the thing that you need to be using as your keyword phrase. Okay. So the products and services that you offer is what you're going to put out there. Now, outboard motor stands, I love that. Now, that term is very specific. And because it is, you might be able to use it just as it is. But even still, I just spent a lot of time in Fort Lauderdale on the canals. And so I actually think I know what an outboard motor is, an outboard motor stand is. And so what you want to do is say, if I have something like that, when does someone need an outboard motor stand? Is it when they have 4 motors? Is it when they have 2 motors? Is it when they have a dock? Is it when they don't have a dock? When do they need an outboard motor? When does someone need infrared testing for repairs and displays? So then you're doing B2B. And if you're doing B2B, business to business, then you can use very businessy terms like outboard motor display, because the business that needs to display outboard motors knows what an outboard motor display is. But the person who is just like owns a boat, they don't know what that means. So, like I said, I know what you were talking about because I just spent a whole lot of time on a river boat, like canaling away on a pontoon, and I saw a whole lot of outboard motors. And so, when you guys think about what it is, what is that person's problem? What do they need? So, I want you in the chat while we're going to go back to the slides. I want you to tell me what your search term is now. What is the thing that people are actually searching for? Not what is the thing that you call your thing, but what is the stupid people thing that they're searching for in the internet? Like, yes, Christina, yours doesn't change. So pain relief, that is a good one. Yes, Shelly, that is a good one. Pain relief, Hungarian lessons, parenting classes. Now, Jennifer, people don't want parenting classes. They want to learn how to discipline better or whatever the thing is. Like, you want to start thinking, what is the reason why someone wants parenting classes? Because very likely they're not typing them in. They're not saying, I am a person who needs to learn how to be a better parent. Instead, they're like, I am a person who has bad children. I need to figure out how to not make my children bad, or how to make my children better, how to do gentle parenting, how to do, that's the stuff. Like, a lot of your questions need to start with how to reduce business overhead, how to reduce expenses. That's a good one. Most people don't call it overhead. I can tell you're an accountant. So how to reduce expenses, how to sell my phone. See, yes, 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 yes. You guys are getting there. You need to get to the stuff that's like, this is what a not smart person, yes, how to help my child who's having meltdowns. Yes, that's it. So you guys have to do that. Because once you're y'all, okay, you're getting it, y'all are getting it. Okay, you got it. So keep it coming. What are the things that people who don't know anything about your topic, but they know they have a problem, what are they typing in the internet? That's your keyword. That's where you're going to start. Now, we're going to get to what to do about these keywords in a second, but I want you brainstorming that right now. Now, while you're thinking about your keywords, let's talk about what's happening on the back end of the auction, because a lot of people who have any old school familiarity with Google Ads is thinking, oh, well, with Google Ads, then I have to win, right? I have to have the biggest bid, or I have to have the most money in order to win this competition. And that is not true. That is not true. There is a thing called ad rank. And your ad rank is a combination of factors, many, not just 3 or 4. There's a combination of factors, but I'm going to tell you a few of those factors that matter an awful lot, and how if you want to think smart, you want to think very much about these factors: competition, context, and quality. They're right there on the screen. Who are you competing with? So if you are a bakery that is right next door to 12 other bakeries and all of you are advertising at the same time, it's going to be expensive. This is my husband's a real estate agent, and real estate agents have the they have the trial of Job out there, because there's 8 million real estate agents and all of them are advertising. So they're all right next door to each other. They all work in the same offices and all these things. And so you have to be really conscious of competition. One of the things that you can do, though, to make your competition a little bit less of an issue is that stuff I was talking about for Marianne, which is figuring out when to advertise and what to advertise so that you're not competing directly with everyone else who is trying to advertise about that same topic. The reality is you want to be one of two maybe advertisers that's competing for something, because that's going to drive the cost of your ads down. You're not going to spend nearly as much if you're not in a really, really deep pool of competition. The other thing is context. And that is this is the thing about like, what's your keyword phrase? That becomes really, really important, because if your keyword phrase matches really well with what someone is actually typing in, and you have selected an audience that's very specific. So like I said, if you're looking for stay-at-home moms who are, dropping their kids off and want a baked good on the way back from school, like if you're looking for that very specific audience, that audience you can create an ad that has a lot of really great context for those people. You can compete just for their eyeballs, just about baked goods. Your ads are going to get a lot more visibility to that audience, and it will be a lot cheaper because you're not trying to advertise to everyone who eats bread, right? Everyone who eats sweets. You're trying to advertise to a much smaller group of people. And then quality. So let's use Marianne again as an example. If you are trying to advertise those sweets to that audience of stay-at-home moms who are dropping kids off first thing in the morning, the ad that you want to share needs to have so much relevance. Like, it needs to be targeted to them. It needs to say their name. It needs to be very specific. And if it is, then it's more likely to rank higher. So it's not just because there could be someone else on this call who is very close to Marianne in Honeybrook, like, or somebody else who's in that neighborhood, and they're like, I'm going to take all these ideas. Now you're competing just with that one person then. It's not that you're not competing with everyone on the planet, and you guys are now going to be going between 1 and 2. You first position, she's second position, you're second position, she's first position. You guys are battling back and forth between the first two, right? That is kind of how this goes. If you get this done, if you get these things right, your competition is going to shrink. Your budget's going to shrink. Everything is going to get a lot easier because you're not trying to compete with everyone on the planet who sells boats or everyone on the planet who sells mental health care, because then it's just not really all that useful to try to compete with all those people. I think it's China. It's already on YouTube. So you got access to it right now. Just go over to Score. If you could, Bob, put in the chat the link to the YouTube channel. I can never remember, but it's Score Cleveland's YouTube channel.
Sure.
If you Google it, thanks, Bob. Okay, so now this is my favorite thing, is that in this workshop, we are only talking about pay per click ads. We are not talking about anything else. And part of the reason why I like talking about pay per click ads for people who are getting started is because it is the best way to control how much money you spend. Because the only time you pay anything, so someone asks, are the advertisers paying? I think it was Shelly who asked that earlier. Yes, if you're doing the advertising, are the one who's paying for the ad. But the only time you pay is if someone clicks on your ad. So let me go back to my example here of massage therapy, and I'm going to go all the way back up to the top. Now, you see the sponsored post here by Massage Heights at the Greens in Strongsville. That is, by the way, not the nearest Massage Heights to me. It's the one that is advertising in my zone, right? So if I was to click on that ad, then this Massage Heights advertiser, the people who own that and would pay if I click on it, but they are paying nothing for me to see it, nothing at all. Okay. And that's why pay per click is your friend, because often people won't click on an ad. They will see it and then go, oh, let me Google it. Like, they'll literally, I'm telling you, I know it sounds dumb, but I know people do it. They'll see an ad for something and it might not even register for them that they looked at the ad, and that's why they know the name of the business. They might look at it and go, oh, I've seen that location before. Let me give them a call. And now they're just going to call instead of even clicking on the ad. So it's really, really great because you only pay at all if you get people to click on your ad. So huge benefit there. And of course, you do want people to click on the ad. It's not that you don't want people to click. You do want to pay something. But I will say Google is one of my favorite platforms for advertising because unlike some platforms, Google does not just take your money, meaning that if you're advertising on Instagram, Facebook, I don't know if any of you have ever advertised on Facebook. Let me put a 1 in the chat if you've ever advertised on Facebook before. Go ahead. Okay, a few of you have. Like I saw those ones popping up already. If you've advertised on Facebook, you can get so specific. You can be like, I only want to advertise to people in Cleveland, Ohio, in these like specifically Cuyahoga County, and you will still get people clicking on your ads in Beijing, China. Like you will still get people, they will show your ad to whoever they can in order to take your money. And it's very ridiculous. It is one of my least favorite things about advertising on Facebook is that they don't care about your audience parameters at all. They will take your money. Google doesn't do that. So if you're advertising to this very small group of people that's only in a certain radius of Honeybrook and all that, like they're only going to show it to those people. They have zero incentive to do anything else. And so if those people don't click, you will pay nothing. You pay nothing, nothing at all. And it's amazing because sometimes this is not a strategy. Don't do this. But sometimes you can get away with doing a brand awareness campaign, essentially, where people start learning about your brand because they're seeing your advertising, even though they're not clicking on it. And so this is not a strategy. Don't do it. You want your ads to get clicked on. But sometimes if your ads are not high quality or if something else is going on, at the very least with YouTube, with Google, you're not going to waste money. Now, in addition, this is one of my other favorite things about the pay-per-click ads now is that once you do run them, when you create a landing page and you share it and all that with the Google platform, if they have space on other networks that could use your ads, they will put them up. Like they will actually share your ads out in other networks and you will still only pay if someone clicks. So it's very, very nice, very, very useful. Again, not spending money anywhere if you are not trying to spend money. Like that is one of my favorite things. Now, how easy is it to get started? It's extremely easy. So again, y'all know I like to do a little show and tell. I will be ending this workshop on time. So anyone who's like, how is she going to get through showing us this? I don't play y'all. I get it done. So we're going to go to ads.google.com. And when we go to ads.google.com, you will see the ads platform show up. Now I have about 90 things on my screen. If you see there in the corner, I'm going to give you the reason why I come here is to show you my one big life cheat code. Whatever email address you have used to log into Google is the one that is going to show up for your Google advertising. Please, please, for the love of all that's holy, please know what your email address is for the account that you start your ads with, because this is the biggest, between this and YouTube, these are the two biggest complaints I have people. This YouTube and the Google business profile is people going, I lost access to my Google profile. Can you help me? And they're, panicking. I lost access to my Google ads. Google removed my ads. Google canceled my ad accounts. Google all these things, right? None of it's ever true. It's simply that the person logged in with a different email address, and so they don't see it anymore. And so just make sure that you're logged into the right email address. That's my big life cheat code over there. If you're not logged into the right email address, you will not see your ads. It just won't show up at all. Okay. Okay. So the recording is in that link that Bob just sent. Okay, good. You guys got it. So you're going to start now. And when you start, if you've never done ads before, it is going to send you into what is called a quick campaign. Now, this is the best thing on the planet because if you already have a business that you have a Google business profile for, that used to be called Google My Business, but now it's the Google business profile. If you already have that, when you type the name of your business in, it's going to automatically pull up your profile. And the reason why this is useful is because it'll have your address, it'll have your website, it'll have all of your contact information already in there. Go team. Now you don't have to complete that stuff inside the ad platform. It's already ready to go. And then in addition to that, afterwards, you're going to put, now read what this says. Where should people go after clicking on your ad? This is not going to be your homepage. I don't care what you're thinking. You're not going to send people to your homepage. So if you remember when I said quality was one of the things that you're getting rated on, This is where that comes in. If you are advertising morning glory muffins to stay-at-home moms who are dropping off their kids at at school, you need to send the person to the morning glory muffin page. You do not need to send them to your homepage, because if you send them to your homepage, what's going to happen? Anyone want to take a guess in the chat? What happens when you send people to your homepage on your website? I'll give you a second to tell me what happens. Any guess? That's one big one. Any other guesses? We got one guess in there. Nothing. Well, nothing could be an answer. You lose them. They don't get upset, Selena. They might not get upset. The reason why, yes, Noberto, you got it. They lose it. Fabian came right back in. They lose their train of thought. You don't lose them because they're mad or anything. It's just that they saw an ad for a morning glory muffin, and then they clicked on your homepage, which has like zucchini bread and all these other things, and then they're like clicking around, and 4 seconds later they don't remember why they're on your website anymore. They've forgotten. They forgot what they came for. And so you want to send them directly to the thing, because our attention spans are non-existent. And so because our attention spans are so non-existent, you do not want to send them to a page that has too many options. You want to send them to a page that is very specific. So if you are advertising outboard motor stands, you need to send them to the page on your website that's about outboard motor stands. Do not send them to your homepage, which has all of the other display options on there. That might feel like a good idea, except for that it's not. It's actually a really bad idea, because what if they were like, oh yeah, you're thinking, oh yeah, that means that they can know I sell all these other things. No, because it makes them less likely to purchase anything, because immediately now they're overwhelmed with information, and they're thinking, well, if I'm going to buy this, and this, then I need to shop 3 different places for that. Now they're no longer with you. They're thinking about the fact that they need to figure out who else sells this stuff. No. Send them straight to the outboard motor page. And then they can go, oh, that's less expensive than the outboard motor stand I saw at that other place. I'm going to buy it. Like, they can go immediately to making decisions, instead of trying to decide, oh, maybe I should just go to Starbucks for that, instead of getting your beautiful morning glory muffin, because you've given them too many choices. You've given them too many choices. Okay. So thank you, Kim. Kim admits it happens to her. I know it happens to me. I'm not going to say I'm not. I will hop off a page in a second and then be like, what was I doing? Oh, was I looking at this dress, or was I looking at it? Why was I looking at a sequin dress? I am not going anywhere. And I don't even remember, honest, I will not remember why I was on that page, and then I will click off, and then that's it. That's it. So you want to make sure you're sending them somewhere specific. Now, when you put that page into Google, it's that whatever that long link is, don't worry if it's like a really long, nasty link, it doesn't matter. Google will shorten it. They'll never see that link. So don't worry about that. But when you put that page in there, the other huge benefit is, remember when I said Google will send you, like, if there's space available somewhere else to show your ad, it will display images and things like that. Well, if you send them to the Morning Glory Muffin page that has a picture of the Morning Glory Muffin and coffee and all the things that make the Morning Glory Muffin the best, it's going to take all those images. It's going to create a bunch of previews for you. So you don't have to do anything. You don't have to add images. You don't have to do anything else. All the stuff is there because you gave it something specific to point at. If you give it something not specific, it doesn't know which things to choose. It makes it a lot harder, okay? So then you're going to choose a goal. Now, there are a ton of goals that you can choose in reality, but you're going to keep it simple. You're going to say, I want people to call me. I want people to come to my website and fill out a form. I want people to come to my shop. So if you're Marianne and you want people to come to your shop, then you're going to say, I want people to come to my shop. Or if you have like a YouTube channel, so we have a mobility specialist in here, you, instead of advertising straight, like buy my mobility accessories, you might advertise a YouTube video showing how to use the mobility accessories, because a lot of people need, if you have a product that has a knowledge gap where people don't know what the thing is and you have to explain it, sometimes a YouTube video is the best answer. So you're going to advertise that YouTube video that explains what the thing is with a link in the description to show them how to buy it. That might be the best option for several of you because you have more complicated businesses. There's a lot of really simple, like not simple bad, but like I make bread, you could just come buy it. And then there's a lot of you who are doing, you're like fractional CFOs. That's something that's relatively complicated. You might want to send people to a YouTube video explaining why they need a fractional CFO. What does that even mean? And then how like the different aspects of like them lowering their expenses and how you can actually help them do that, or whatever the thing is, right? Like send them to a video, and that really, like, again, shortens your sales cycle because people understand what you do more. It's great. Now, this is where the fun happens. In the advertising portion where you get to write your ad, it says here, write your ad. That's not what actually happens when you go in there. If you sent people to the Morning Glory Muffin page, so y'all, Marianne is like, why am I here? If you sent people to the Morning Glory Muffin page that explains all the things about the Morning Glory Muffin and all this stuff, if you've done that, then when you get to this part, Google will already have a bunch of headlines and a bunch of descriptions written for you. Yes, I said it, written for you. And so this, okay, good, Marianne, you're not mad. So this is what I love about the Google Ads platform right now, is that they are leveraging their own AI, which is Gemini. If you haven't been using Gemini, we can have a whole separate conversation. But Gemini is a great AI, and it's also really useful for advertising. So if you have a landing page, it's got great words on it already. You work to make that Morning Glory page perfect. Now, when you go to like do the advertising, it'll pull all the information from that Morning Glory Muffin page, and it'll be great, right? It makes it easier for you to get your ad started because you don't have to figure out what to say. Because I know that's like, y'all, the number one thing I did when I first started teaching about marketing and social media and things like that was teaching people how to write social posts, how to write advertising, how to write, because it's so hard to think through what to say. And so the good thing is that it will take the stuff that's already on your page and actually help you by it writing it for you. The recording is already up, Manny. If you want to head over to that YouTube channel that Bob linked earlier, you can see it immediately. Now, this is where the fun happens with that keyword thing that I was asking you about earlier. So now, instead of saying massage therapy, you're going to put in like help for lower back pain. If that's, if your massage therapy is very specific about pain relief, if your massage therapy is about relaxation or stress relief or whatever, or like, again, couples, you could have an entire advertisement just for couples massage, where it's like, we do Swedish couples massage, and you have all this information about your Swedish couples massage, and you're going to send people just to the couples massage page. Again, being very specific. Then for your keyword theme, you would just put in couples massage, right? And it makes it so much easier. And immediately what Google does is when you type in that keyword theme, it says, oh, here's a bunch of other suggestions. Do these fit? And then you can pick what the other suggestions are. You really only want to pick like 3 or 4, because the closer you can get your theme to your page, to your audience, all of those things, if you can get all those things to match up so that when someone sees your ad, they say, that's for me, then you win. You win. So we want to make sure that the theme, the audience, everything else is matching up perfectly. And then you get to set your location. And again, you can set your location very specifically. You can do a radius around an address. So again, if you're Marianne and you've got a shop, you can put a pin where your shop is, and it'll draw a circle around it and say, this circle is where I want to advertise. Or if you are me, I'm a big fan of counties, because for some reason, Ohio is very county focused. I've lived in a bunch of other places where I could barely tell you what county I was in, but here everyone knows what county they're in at any given point in time. So in Cuyahoga County, Lorain County, Geauga County, Stark County, if you want to go countywide, you can go counties. If you want to do cities, you can do cities. It's very much up to you. And the reason why I'm saying this is because certain regions are just I'm from St. Louis, where we have, in the city of St. Louis, genuinely a good 4 cities in Illinois are a part of the metro area for St. Louis. And so if I was to type in St. Louis, I wouldn't really mean St. Louis. I would mean the entire St. Louis metropolitan area, which includes a whole bunch of places in Illinois. So I would want to make sure that it is very much so where you actually want people to find you from. Felicia, that is a fantastic fantastic question. So Felicia's question is, what if you have advertising you can do in multiple states? Maybe you work with people in California, Ohio, Nebraska, and Florida, and you could do advertising in any of those states. Should you do advertising in all of them at the same time? Felicia, I'm going to say no. You could absolutely. You could say California, Florida, Ohio, Nebraska, period, and just move on with your life. But you could also do the thing that savvy advertisers do and do an entire campaign just for Ohio. So you would pick the state of Ohio, and then all of your words in your campaign would say something like, need mental health help in Ohio? Like, you know what I mean? Because people like to hear you call their name. Like they want to hear something that makes them know that you know who they are. And so if you want to say need mental health help in Florida, can't find a good therapist in Florida, can't find a good therapist, and you can get specific. Can't find a good therapist in Dade County, like whatever the area is, then you can get really specific and actually call out that area. And that's one way, again, for someone like Marianne, who might have some people who are hyper local loyalists, then she could put the name of her shop, the name of the city in the ad and say, need good bakery near Honeybrook. Like, y'all, you can use the ad, use the location as a part of your advertising so that you're not just advertising in general, but you're being very specific. Different regions work differently. So some of your people don't care at all about whether they buy it in Queens or Staten Island, even though I know that people in Staten Island do care about that. But like, some people do and some people don't. So you have to like figure out whether your audience cares about. And if your audience cares about buying it from Honeybrook, make sure you put Honeybrook in the ad. Make sure you have the words in there that we are local to Honeybrook. Find a Honeybrook bakery, like all of those types of things that tell people this is where we are. If your people don't care about that at all, then advertise away. It's a really good way to control budget though. It like I'm making different ads for different locations because then you can say if you have a different population density in different regions, you might want to spend a little bit more money in those regions. So again, if you got California and Florida, you might want to spend a little bit more money in California and Florida, less money in Ohio and Nebraska because we just have smaller states, right? And so you can set your budget. It says here, set your budget, and it gives you a suggestion. I will tell you 100%, this is my non-Google authorized statement. Do not use their suggestion. If you remember earlier, I said my goal is to save you money. So whatever they suggest, go lower. If they suggest $2.80, then you go at like $1.80, like undercut it. Because one of my favorite things to do with Google is make it work. Like literally make the algorithm work for you. Put your advertising out there, do the work that you're doing to make, you know, all the stuff I said, make your landing page good, make your ad copy good, use their AI, do good regions, all that stuff. Do all that. And then if for some reason your bid is just too low, Google will tell you after they start running the ad, instead of you bidding higher. Because the one thing that I have learned in my time of doing this with literally thousands of businesses with at least 10 high budget clients is that it is very difficult. When I say high budget, I mean people spending $10,000 to $20,000 a month in advertising. It is very difficult to spend less once you have spent more. It is easier to go up than it is to go down. And so if you start out with a high budget, you will never know if you could have done it for less money because you will never want to spend less money because, well, if it works at this amount, why would you change it? So my goal is to get you to start low so that you can work your way into a higher budget instead of starting at the highest budget. Okay. Okay. I hope y'all get that. At this point, you review your campaign. You pretty much are done. Like you put your credit card information in after that, and then you're good to go. Now, if they are running a campaign, there are some times where they're running an ad credit campaign. For those of you who are running an ad credit campaign, yeah, this is lucky. If it's an ad credit campaign means that they're offering like a $500 or $100 bonus once you spend that money. The good thing about it is that it's a continuous thing. You do not have to spend $100 at once or $500 at once in order to get that ad credit. You can spend it over the course of 6 months or whatever. So it's not like you have to spend it immediately. Okay. Okay, so that's it. Once you are in here, I told you I was going to get you done within an hour. I'm almost done. I'm wrapped up. There's the campaign that we just walked through, which is called the SMART campaign. And then once you've done the SMART campaign a few times, please do it a few times, then you can switch over to the search campaign, which is a little bit more advanced. They're all arranged very, very similarly. But the big difference is that when you go to the new expert mode campaign, you're going to have access to a lot more information. You're going to have all these different types of campaigns you can run. You're going to have all of these different ways that you can improve your ads, like you can add in more details and things like that. There's just a lot of stuff you can do once you get into expert mode. But what I want you to do is perfect the game in smart mode first. Don't try to go into expert mode immediately. Don't try to like be all advanced at first. Like it's just not necessary. Keep your budget small, keep your advertising simple, just get a handle on it, right? Keep those keyword themes very general and like be as general specific, like morning glory muffin, but don't try to like advertise everything that you have as a business in the first go round. Okay. Okay. Now there's one more thing I wanted to get to. Okay. Measuring success. How many keywords do you, Shelly? Great question. Thank you, Selena. I personally recommend no more than 5. That is a very low number by comparison to what other people will recommend. And my recommendation fits with Google. So I mean, like Google, like I'm not playing. They told me that that's the number. So if you want to go more than that, you can, but probably don't. So what I want you to focus on when you're thinking about your advertising is what is it that you want to accomplish? I gave y'all a lot of information, but it is very easy to get lost in the weeds and try to do everything all at once. And so what is it that you want? Do you want people to know who you are? Do you want clicks? Do you want more clients? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? And then make sure that you are looking at that specific part of your advertising report to let you know whether or not you're getting the clicks, you're getting the conversions, you're getting the impressions, because that's what's really important. When you go into advanced mode, you're going to get a ton of data. It's very, very complex. So stick with smart mode until you have the real need to do that. And then if you can, I think it's the next slide. Y'all, if you have Google Analytics, link your Google Analytics to your Google Ads. The reason for this is if you're sending people to the Morning Glory Muffin page and you see you're getting clicks on that page, but then you don't know what's happening afterwards, the Google Analytics can pick up from that click and tell you what people are doing on your website after they get to the page. But your Google Ads won't tell you that. So you need to like put the analytics and the ads together to see what happens after someone clicks, not just what happens when they click. Okay. Okay. I got through it. Yeah. Okay. So if you want to learn more, we've already given you the link. Bob, you can pop it into the chat again. The link for the YouTube channel where SCORE has actually a bunch of workshops with me on there if you want to watch more of me entertaining you with information. You can watch me, you can watch this workshop again, but then there's also a YouTube channel where you can see, again, me and other digital coaches like sharing all sorts of information. There's still lots of certificates. So if you all are marketers, I know a few of you are, you can go out there and get several certificates. Other than that, the last thing I have is a thank you. And if you have enjoyed this and you currently are on a computer and you can scan this with your phone, I would love for you to give feedback to Google and let them know what you thought about this workshop. I am Ohio. Again, if you are I'm Ohio. I know you're in Arizona. I'm in Ohio. So when you click Ohio, that would be great. I'd absolutely love this. Love it if you could give me some feedback. I don't see any of it. I only see the thank yous that you guys are giving me here, which I always appreciate. Okay, Bob. Thank you so much,
Excellent.
Bob.
Excellent. As always, I always learn something from you every time I listen, even if I've heard it before. So this is terrific. Thank you. I did put the link back in the chat one more time, but just to let you know that we will send you automatically a copy of the recording. It might take a couple days by the time we get it to you, but you'll get a link directly through Constant Contact, if I'm not mistaken. So terrific. Is there anything else from anybody else before we click off?
Oh, I had one question. Let me answer this question about sharing your address. If you have a business where like your address is where you work from, you do not have to put your address in there at all. There's ways to get around sharing addresses and all that. You don't have to put that in there for any advertising purposes. You do not need to put your personal address in.
Terrific.
Okay.
Let's see. Anything else? No, just words expressing thank you. So, Lindsay, thank you so much for doing this. Everybody, thank you for joining us. And I look forward to seeing you at more of these over